Mike with www.lawmanguitars.com. Boy, have I got a special guitar for you today. This is one I haven't seen many of. I saw one here in Des Moines and immediately went out to find another one because I thought it was so cool. This is a 1968 Kustom K200 guitar made of Zebrawood. That's right, this wood here is very, very exotic. And they made them out of Zebrawood, this natural finish one. I know they had several sunburst color ones. There was like a wine burst. There was a green burst. There's one they think they called the watermelon burst. I mean, they had some pretty cool colors. I particularly liked the wood one. I'm kind of drawn to this anyway. But the Zebrawood with all this grain in it is just absolutely striking. And it's just really a cool guitar. They did not make very many of these over the years. They started thinking about making them in 1966, and it wasn't until 1967 when Bud Ross got a hold of Doyle Reading, a woodworking teacher, and convinced him to come to Chanute, Kansas and help him build these guitars that they started working on them. And there's a lot of influences in these guitars. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But they were only out for a couple of years, 1967, 68, and then they just kind of disappeared, which was a shame because I'll tell you what, these are really, really cool guitars. There's a lot of really neat features in it that we'll discuss, and just really kind of an iconic guitar. And if you like Mosrite guitars, which I happen to be a Mosrite fanatic, when I grabbed the neck of this thing, I went, well, that feels familiar. Sammy Mosley supposedly had some influence in these guitars as well, and I can certainly see a lot of that in not only the design, but in the necks. These necks are super thin, the frets are super low, and the guitar just plays so fast. I mean, it's just like your hands get ahead of your picks. I mean, it's just, you know, it's just incredible how fast these necks are. Super low action. I've got it set about as low as you can get it. And you'll probably want to, if you want to bend notes, probably raise it up just a little bit. But what a neat guitar. They use DeArmond Pickups in them. Now let me tell you a little bit about these DeArmond Pickups. I did some research on them, and I had never seen, I'd seen similar DeArmonds, but nothing in this kind of case. And turns out they put this little angle on them. This is the DeArmond, if it had a squared off case, they're in several guitars DeArmond built for several different types of guitars. They put a little angle on these pickups for Bud Ross, and they had a distinctive looking pickup. It's got, this one has a trapeze tailpiece, which I thought was kind of cool. Because it's such a thin body, they couldn't attach it at the end. They just turned it around and flipped it up and attached it to the top, which I was looking at that, I go, that's a really unusual. There's nothing unusual about that. Just how they installed it was unusual. So anyway, it's got a trapeze. Some of them had a whammy on them, which this one does not. And they all had this very Mosrite-looking bridge on it. Just a really cool system. It's infinitely adjustable, left, right, back and forth. It's got these nice plastic razors that are just really smooth to raise and lower your action. And then from there, it's got the original pick guard, and it's in beautiful shape. It didn't shrink at all. And these knobs, I wish I had a custom guitar to know this for sure, but I think these are the same knobs they used on their custom amplifiers. And I probably got ahead of myself. For those of you that don't know Kustom was the tuck and roll company back in the 60s. You know, Creedence played custom amps. I mean, you know, if your parents had money, your band had custom amps. My parents didn't have money. We didn't have customs, but boy, I sure lusted after all those tuck and roll amps. They had the red sparkle and the green sparkle and the gold sparkle, and it was tuck and roll like we had in our hot rods. And it was just a really cool look. And then these were the guitars that after they had done some amps for a while, I said, we ought to have some guitars, and they built these. And doggone, these are awesome guitars. Got a set neck. It's a two-piece back and front on this. You can see where it's attached right here in the middle. So it is semi-hollow. And it's got this cat's eye looking opening here for the sound hole. And it just... I thought it looked a lot like a Mosrite, which I thought was really kind of cool. Even the headstock, with the way it's shaped, I thought that had a look of Mosrite. It's got a chrome nut and a 0 fret like a Mosrite. I think Semi had a lot to do with the design of these. It's got double line Clustom tuners, original tuners on the back, and it does have a plate to, it's a bolt-on neck. It's not a set neck. So just a very high quality guitar, and the frets, I don't know how you tell if they've been used because they're so little. I mean, those are the little tiniest little frets in there. And they got all these fret marker buttons in there. I mean, it's a very striking guitar when you look at it. It's just like, what the heck is that? And like I said, when I grabbed one here in Des Moines and played it, it's like, I got to find one of those. And I did. And this is just one fine example of a custom guitar, very iconic look to it, and there just wasn't a whole lot of these made. So it's just really cool. If I didn't mention, I heard that Roy Clark had some influence. You know, Roy Clark, I mean, he was so big back in the 60s, and I heard that he had some influence in this guitar as well, which isn't a surprise. It's a guitar player's guitar. Now, I've been playing on the neck position, and the pickups are very bright. We were just adjusting the amp down a little bit because the pickups, these DeArmonds, are very bright. So you're probably going to have to adjust your tones just a little bit to cut some of that a little bit, because boy, they want to speak to you. And talk about loud. These pickups are screamers. I mean, they are just very loud. All the way to the back. Whoa! Whoa! What a cool guitar. Buy this one quick or it might come off. I might just keep this one. This is a really cool guitar. I play Mosrites. I love Mosrites. This would fit so well with any of you guys that are buying Mosrite guitars. What a cool guitar. Now, one of the things that I was insisting upon when I was looking for that guitar is it had to have an original case, and trust me, they're hard to come by with the original cases. As you know, these old cases, they got beat up or they got lost or they just didn't buy the guitar with the case. And they came with a fitted case that had the body shape, and then they also had the square case. Now this is the square case. I know it's the case for that guitar because it says Kustom by Ross Inc. right on there. And it's got the original handle, it's got the original latches, it's got the original hinges. The case is in really, really remarkable shape for a 1967 case. And I was really thrilled to get it with the original case, because there's a lot of them out there. There's not a lot of them out there anyway, but the ones that were just didn't have cases. Now, I will tell you, there's a difference in the color between this and the accessory box lid, because he had it furred. So I'm guessing that it got either damaged or he just didn't think it was pretty enough. And so I've never seen this done in a case before. I'd sure like to know who did it, because he did an outstanding job. And this gold plush, I mean, he could have fooled me. He could have told me that, this was the original, and I wouldn't have known the difference. But I'll tell you what, it's just beautiful, and it certainly doesn't look as used as this case interior should have looked. So that was a clue. He also has this little neck restraint on there, which holds the guitar down. It's got the accessory box in here. He's also got the key for the case, as well as a little a truss rod adjustment tool. The truss rod is very, very close to the neck pickup, so he actually sawed off a truss rod so he didn't have to move the pickup out of the way to adjust the neck. It was very nice that he included that with the guitar. So you get that, and you get this awesome case that's just absolutely gorgeous to go with that guitar. And what a cool guitar. Zebrawood. 1968, they didn't make a lot of them, and you don't see a lot of these out there. If you're looking for a guitar that your buddies don't have, I mean, let's face it, everybody's got Strats and Gibson 335s. Not many people have a custom 1968 K200. You could be one of the ones on your block to have the only one. So check it and all of our really, really cool guitars out at www.Lawman Guitars, where we only sell really cool guitars like that one. Thanks a lot for watching today.